Hello and welcome to another episode of Creating a Legend. I am the FM Novice. Join me today for the Ukrainian Super Cup, a competition I never knew existed until today. We are away at Shakhtar Donetsk, the league champions against the Ukrainian Cup champions. Before we get into today's game against Shakhtar, I have a piece of news for people who have been watching this series for a long time. The series is called Creating a Legend. For a long time I was favoured personnel, but after that Ukrainian Cup victory I am now a club icon. A fantastic achievement, thank you very much indeed. I think there's a long way to go before I can get to that legend status. The league has to be won, I think, before I can move on to that status, but it's a chance to move forward and we have done so. Things are going very well with Gelios Kharkiv. Let's now look at the transfers in and out since the last game. As you can tell, the voice is still a little bit ropey, but we are soldiering on and we are looking at the players who have come in since the end of last season. Dmitry Serdyuk is the first one, a striker that's coming on a free transfer from First Division Sumy. A decent record for them, 41 goals in 104 games. Lovely finishing, lovely composure. He is Ukrainian and probably my third choice player for that position. Mark Stepezi is a Hungarian right back who at 6'5" probably shouldn't be playing right back, but his physicals are outstanding, his mentals are pretty decent as well. He will come in and put real pressure on Dembele at that right back. I've now got two outstanding players for that position. And another outstanding looking player is Ivan Ganchev, left back, a Bulgarian, on a 3-year deal. He replaces Valenza, who has left the club after the end of his loan spell. He will be another foreign player, unfortunately for us, but he is extremely talented and hopefully will have a very good future with Gelios. Another foreigner, you'll notice a trend here. South African Edson Makeli comes in from Wits, the same place we got Bakazi last season. 3.5 star current ability, 3.5 star potential. A decent, solid backup option to put a bit of pressure on Svatok and Kovachenko. And for all the foreigners coming in, we needed a Ukrainian player, and this guy, Alexander Grebnev, is a backup option at left back. Comes from Dynamo Kiev on a free transfer. A decent, solid player that I hope to rely on as and when I have too many foreigners in my side. If we start with the players that are going out, then released a fair number of players. Alexander Kovachenko was a goalkeeper, never played for the first team squad. Alexander Vakula was a striker who appeared occasionally. Both of those players came from our youth system. Igor Dutz, you'll remember from a fair few games. He played about 150 times over his time with us, but he's been out on loan for the past 2 seasons, raking a bit of dough for us, but he has now left the club. As has Denis Bezrudenko, 33 goals from about 100 appearances for him. He got a serious injury about 2 weeks before he was released, so he is now unattached and probably will retire, which is a bit disappointing for the lad because he was a good, solid pro for us. And still talking about good solid pros as the voice takes a bit of a hit. Vladislav Kravchenko, left back extraordinaire. I'll focus on this guy. The attributes do not look good at all, but he always did the job. Solid, consistent, 196 league games, just over 200 games in all for us. Just did a really good, solid job whenever required. I'm trying to bring him in some way in terms of coach. Anything I can get him in will be a bonus just to get him in through the door back again. Also leaving the club are Rustam Subotin and Stanislav Maximov, two players who had very limited spells in our first team squad, had spent last season out on loan and have been able to move on to other clubs in the Ukrainian league. Probably the First Division is probably more their level. And now we move on to the more interesting players out the door, or at least I think they're a bit more interesting. Nazarij Muravsky has gone to Desna on a free transfer. He was out of contract and has moved on. He was more of a squad player as a centre-back over the last couple of seasons, but he did a decent job when relied upon. Eugene Patskan has gone to Kolos Kolovyakko for £150,000. He was our 4th choice goalkeeper last season. Signed on a free transfer at the start of last season. Moved on for £150,000 in the last year of his contract. So a nice little bit of money for the club as well. The rest of the transfers out are loan players. Vitaly Ornik has gone on loan to First Division club Nefati Umakankanfta. I doubt I've spelled that anywhere near correctly. Maxim Valisev has gone to Kolos Kolovyakko to join Eugene Patskan. £10 a month, 10 grand over this. 10 grand a month for a backup player at the moment. He's 19 years old. I'll focus in on him because he looks to be a half decent, talented player. Very high determination. Looks to be a good, solid option. I'm hoping he has his season with Kolos and comes back to us to be able to fit into our first team squad from next season. And the others are players that I don't really want at the club. Dmitry Chechenko, who's a player brought in last season on a free transfer. He's had 2 loan spells out at the club so far. Shouldn't sign him really, he's never going to be good enough. Alexei Gudsalek was a player who was a really good job for us in a couple of seasons. Was nowhere near the first team squad last season and has now gone out on loan for £140,000 we're going to get from him over the course of the season from Alexandria. And Pavlo Koryakin, centre midfielder extraordinaire for us. In the last year of his contract now, he has gone out to Karpaty for the season. They've just got promoted back into the Premier League, so hopefully he'll drive their midfield forward for this season. A decent player when called upon in his first 2 seasons with the club. The Champions League draw has been done. We are away to FC Villiterol from Romania in the European Champions Cup best play second qualifying phase, first and second legs. The biggest challenge this season is that I can only play 7 foreigners in my first 11, and I have about 10 or 11 that will probably be good enough to get into my first 11, so there is going to be an element of rotation throughout the side. I'm going along a theory of trying to make sure I have a good solid Ukrainian backup in every position possible, which does mean I'm going to have a larger squad than I ideally want, but it's the only way I'll be able to rotate players around and make sure everyone is fit and happy. So team for today's game is Sarniovsky in goal, Stepezi at right back, Ganchev at left back, Kovachenko and Svatok are my 2 central defenders. Dmitry Krush is from the right hand side, Hamid Fofana is from the left hand side, Starkov, Ekrem and Mukanzi in the middle, with Gaston, Kevin Rodin up front. On the bench this today is Dembele, Yao, Tanskiossi, Suduk, Kogut, Chernik and Grebnev. No Jason Alvarado today, he is still on international duty with Costa Rica. I have absolutely no idea what to expect from this competition. I don't know if Shakhtar are going to care that much about it. It is the Community Shield in lots of ways. It's a curtain raiser for the start of the season. I doubt they'll be bothered to win it, but we'd like to get a little bit more silverware into the club. First highlight of the game, possibly going our way, Ekrem on the ball into Mukanzi, the South African driving forward. He, along with a number of other players, has been on international duty throughout the whole end of the season. Starkov gets through. Starkov drives it on, hits the post. It doesn't go in. It does eventually go in. That was a horrible goal for Shakhtar to concede, and a bit of a fluky goal for us. Fofana broke in from the left-hand side. He does so well. Found Rolin, who found Starkov, who poked the ball past the keeper onto the post. Lidvikovic couldn't deal with it, and Starkov was on hand to force the ball over the line to give us a 1-0 early advantage. I was talking about players being on international duty. Quite a few. Kovachenko had a very good under-21 campaign with the Ukraine national side as Guillermo puts them back 1-1 in the 13th minute. It's disappointing that the Debutant Spezzi made a mistake dealing with the cross in. One day I will be able to talk through all the players who were on international duty, and I'll get there eventually. Kovachenko was one of them. Fofana had a spell as well. Dembele did as well with the Ivory Coast, and Alvarado with Costa Rica. They are breaking through it. Bernard cleared away, crushed, won't get to the ball. Komar on the ball, into Fred, Lamilio. Now finds Fred again, Bernard again, shoots from distance. That's a cracking goal, to be fair to him. He's done that before against us, and he absolutely slammed it in from 30 yards. Bernard has put Shakhtar 2-1 up in this game. A lot happening in the first 20 minutes. We took an early lead. They have pegged us back, and they've gone in front now with a sensational strike. The keeper couldn't do anything about that one. There's a highlight straight away. This game has got everything in it so far, apart from sendings off, penalties, disallowed goals. That's a fair few things. There's been 3 goals. That's all we can say so far. Crush on the ball. Looking for options. Ekrem now driving forward. Now Mukanzi looks for options on the right hand side. Fofana can get the ball in. He does. And Rolling has put us back to 2-2. Taking a chance to breathe. English novice. English. Crush inside to Ekrem. Found Mukanzi. Mukanzi, good ball over the top to Fofana. Fofana beat his man. And Rolling got in front of 2 defenders to put us back level terms at 2-2. Kozhichenko to Ekrem, who has already been booked. His traditional booking. Ganchev on the ball. Mukanzi to Starkov. Back to Mukanzi. He's trying for Fofana, but it's not a great ball. And the intercept. Fred away. Headed back inside. Starkov. Mukanzi. Fofana. Long highlight. Just always leads to a goal. We've given the ball away and they can break. Amaf beats a couple of players. This looks dangerous. He crosses it in. Near post. Headed away though. Fred on the ball. Bernard shoots again from distance, but he drags it wide. A humdinger of a first half. 4 goals in the first 20 minutes. We took the lead. They pegged us back, but we pegged them back again. We've made a change at half-time. Underwhelmed with Stapaz's action in the first half, so he has come off and Dembele has come back on. Those two guys will probably rotate unless someone takes the ball by the horns and becomes our first choice at right back. I'm just pleased I've got two really solid options there available to us. Defensively, we do not look great at the moment. Gelios not in a very good game at 6.4 at the moment. May look to make a change with what's happening at the moment. We've had a number of bookings in the middle of the park, so I'm going to bring Tansky on for Ekrem. Tansky obviously has the benefit of being a former Shakhtar player as well, so he may hopefully score a goal against him, because that always seems to happen. Guillermo inside now to Fred. Finds Guillermo again, looking dangerous. Bogdanov finds Bernard, but Bernard is woeful there. He's getting progressively worse with his shooting, which is a good positive thing for us. I don't know if there's going to be extra time or penalties. I imagine there will be. Tansky long ball into the back stick. McKenzie now on the ball. Into Fofana. Fofana shoots deflected. And Rolin has scored. 15 to go. Rolin. It was deflected into his path. And he volleys the ball home. A lovely finish from our Colombian. We had a throw in. Tansky a deep ball into the back post. Headed away. McKenzie got on the ball. Into the side for Fofana. His shot was deflected into the path of Rolin, who has scored. 10 to go. One change left. Going to bring on Kogot on for Fofana, just to give us a bit more leg on the left hand side. Kogot has just signed a new deal to give him another couple of years at the club, and he's still our captain, even though there are better options out there. 2 minutes to go. Dembele on the ball now to Starkov to Crush. As long as we don't lose the ball here, it'll be good. Crush it inside to Starkov. Rolling. McKenzie now shoots, saved by Livakovic. I mentioned that Kogot is still our captain. Rolling is actually off the field at the moment there. Kogot is still our captain. I don't want to upset him, even though he's probably not going to play every single game. Starkov is probably the better fit for captain, so he is now my vice captain. Just in my way of making sure I can keep a player happy, as we seem to be taking age to take this corner, which is no surprise. Kogot now on the ball, drags his shot wide. It's going to be 5 minutes of injury time at the end of this game. We've used all our substitutions, so have they, so it's just a case of waiting for the end of the match or another highlight. Hopefully it will be the former. Tansky for free kick, placed into Crush. Crush now shoots, but that's a poor shot. That could have been game over. Livakovic was comfortably claimed it, and Crush now corner. Plays it in, cleared away. Kogot now on the ball. 30 seconds to go. Just place keeping the ball now, and we have another piece of silverware. Crush to Kogot. Edge of the box. Ganchev. Inside. Given away. Lemilio, but it's given back to Tansky. Now Starkov. He's tackled. 5 seconds to go. Bogdanov. Can he do something in the remaining few moments? Looks for options, but he can't. We have won yet another piece of silverware. I say yet another. That is our third in 9 seasons, or 8 seasons and 1 game. But for the second episode running, we are celebrating some trophy success. This time it was the Super Cup, a 3-2 victory over Shakhtar Donetsk. Could that be a sign of things to come? They are probably the only team who are going to stop us winning the league, unless Dynamo Kiev can turn their form around. But there's a lot of football to happen between now and then. Join me for the next episode, which will be that Champions League 2-legged tie against that team from Romania. That'll be next episode. Thank you very much for watching. I've been the FM18. We'll talk again soon. Good night.